the less you just listen and follow what they tell you to do and like learn your own information, the better off you are.
Yeah.
But
well, see, that's good advice.
Yeah.
That, I mean, everybody, you should question things and you should
do your own research.
You should always, and challenge your own ideas. But, I mean, there's not a but to that. That's like the takeaway.
mm-hmm.
But you can go too far, I think, and people get lost. And I think that's I think that's what worries and again, maybe this ties into the idealistic self, is that the idea behind censorship is that they want to protect people from going down those paths. And like,
why?
Right, there's no
what's
point
the benefit
to protect people from going down those paths.
I agree.
Like,
I
people
think,
need to be able to learn what they want to learn. I mean, you can't censor it. Like, you can, obviously they do, but like, censorship is just harmful.
Yeah.
Is that a message out there that you shouldn't go too far down the rabbit hole, or? Well,
like, what I was going to say is, like, would you rather people question things too much or not at all? And I would say question it too much.
I think both can be dangerous.
I would agree.
Because I think if people question things too much, you can get, like, what happened on Capitol Hill or not Capitol Hill, but like that guy that stormed the pizza place with a gun trying to save the kids that he thought were in the basement. Like, that's
just random, maybe a random person though, right? I mean,
yeah, but he
believes something.
Yeah, you could argue he believed something and he questioned something a little bit. He fell a little bit too far.
So let's just say, what if that person had a mental illness? Do you want to, prevent people with mental illness from learning things? Or do you want to protect everybody from learning things? Like, it's just, there's no benefit to censorship. I don't think you can harness people that way. I don't think you can protect them that way. It just does more harm than good.
I agree with that. I think you have to put all the information out there. And I think you are going to lose some people. Some people are going to go off the deep end.
Sure.
Some people are going to not want to do the research for themselves. And I get that. Mm-hmm. But I think that when you start to restrict information, that's when you start pushing people deeper. Because, if they censored, if they were hiding this and this turned out to be true, which some things do happen that way, what else are they lying about?
Yeah.
And then you start stumbling down that path and it's like, okay, well, they lied about this, they lied about that, they lied about
So what is the point of censorship if they're not lying to you?
I think it comes from good intentions. Because I think if you see a flat earth video and you're like, this is bullshit. Like, the earth is not flat. Let's just remove this video because we don't want to risk somebody seeing it and maybe thinking that it's true. So we're just going to take it down.
What do you think about the First Amendment then? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech.
I think that they should leave up. I think everything should be out there.
So I would argue that it should be against the law to censor these views. I don't think YouTube and Facebook and Google should be able to censor anything because right now they're protected by Section 230, but they're acting as publishers because they're censoring the information. Mm-hmm. So they should not be protected. You can't censor. That's the First Amendment.
Right.
Like,
I've heard the argument that they should be treated like utilities.
I've heard that too, and I agree.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think they're too big now.
I've heard the argument, can you censor what people talk about over the telephone? No, you can't.
That would be so crazy.
Right? It's
if
just
someone
the same
just
thing.
answers mid-call, oh no, you can't talk about that. We're disconnecting
the same thing.
you.
It's like you're trying to message somebody and they're intercepting your messages.
Yeah, the slippery part is that it's a private business.
Right, but right now they're protected by a certain law that's supposed to protect the people, and it's not protecting the people.
Yeah, they're definitely gaming the system.
Right, and the government's not going to do anything to help the people. It doesn't seem like.
Do you think that... I look at that the clusterfuck that it is, and I just think that it's, we have these people who are in the Senate and in these positions of power right now that just don't understand the technology. And
I think that's a huge problem too.
Yeah. How are they supposed to make laws governing and protecting people when they don't even understand the ramifications of what is happening right now?
I totally agree that's a problem. But there's something needs to be done about the big tech. Censorship, like Section 230, whether or not it needs repealed or fixed or whatever. But
can you explain Section 230? Because I don't...
So as far as I know about it, it protects platforms from being sued by people who post on their platform. So if somebody posts something that's like inflammatory or racist or whatever, and then somebody can't sue Facebook for that person's post. But they're supposed to censor in good faith. So they're not supposed to censor political speech. They're not supposed to censor those things, but they are, and they're being protected by Section 230, which is allowing them to do it, because that essentially makes them a platform versus a publisher. Because like the New York Times is a publisher, so they're not protected by Section 230. But Facebook selects what stories they want on their site, and they're acting as a publisher, but they're still protected by Section 230, which means that the people get censored and can't fight back against it, because it's protecting Facebook from being sued. So if they're not protected by Section 230 anymore, that would open up anybody to sue Facebook if they censor them. And that's actually what's happening in Florida right now. Like these states that are
Facebook?
Well, no. So these states are passing anti-censorship laws. So Florida right now passed the anti-censorship law. So I think it's anybody can sue, and they will actually, they say you will get damages, you will get money. You know, if they censor you, you can sue.
Yeah.
So especially with politicians and stuff. I mean, you know what they did with Donald Trump? They completely removed him.
That's so crazy. While he was still president.
While he was, how insane is that? So this will protect people like him, or a lot of other politicians too. I mean, it's happened to Congress people too. They just get censored off Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's literally cutting off their base. Like that's how they communicate with people. So it's just insane that they're allowed to do it.
Yeah. That's when you know the whole thing's rigged.
Yeah. And so then obviously that promotes the politicians that they want to promote and not the opposite.